Growing up, not really knowing what autism is and how it affected pretty much every single part of my life, not only the social life, felt kind of bad. And since a lot of people seem to only care about like the child autism, like just very small child, and they don't care about like young adults, or even teenage autism, I thought I might as well just make a video about some findings that I've been making during my time being an adult. So here it is. Welcome back to my channel. I am Luke Heaton, and today I'm going to talk about some weird autistic experiences that I thought it was just me being a weirdo, but they are apparently very normal in the autistic experience, I guess. Now, this is just going to be like my experience. Every autistic person has like a different experience, but I don't know, maybe something that I can share can help someone else who might not truly know what's happening to them, and maybe it'll help them feel a little bit more normal, maybe. So, this is something that I feel like nobody explains to you, even people that go to therapy. If you're autistic, have you ever wondered why, when you say something, people get mad at you, and when you ask, what did you do wrong, they get even more mad at you because they're calling you rude? Have you ever felt like that? Because I actually have the answer as to why that happens. And nobody explains it to you. I just got this from like, I'm watching people when that happens to me. So, to put it in a way that I can explain it to my autistic folk, imagine if someone calls you stupid. You would feel bad because someone just called you stupid, right? And then you react poorly because, well, they just called you stupid. That's very rude. And then you tell them, "Don't, hey, that's very rude." And then they tell you, "Oh, but what did I do wrong?" And of course, it's something very obvious. They just called you stupid, and then they ask you, "What did you do? What did they do wrong?" So it feels like they're like making fun of you, like, if someone just came to you and called you stupid, and then they ask you, "Oh, but why did you get offended? What did you do wrong?" It feels like they're making like fun of you, like very clearly that person just called you stupid, and that's very rude. And asking why you got offended, it's like, well, duh, you just called me stupid. So apparently, that's what neurotypical people feel whenever you ask them, "But what did I do wrong?" They don't think that you're genuinely asking. They think that you did it on purpose. And to them, the same thing that I just explained to you about like someone just calling you stupid and then asking you why did you get offended by that, it's how it feels to a neurotypical. This is why it's important to tell a neurotypical person that you're autistic, because I didn't know this, but apparently I have a very serious face. I have a very like scary face according to people that I tend to look like I'm angry all the time. I'm not really angry. It's just how my face looks. And going back to the previous example, like, "Oh, you're stupid." Hey, that's rude. But what did I say? And to a neurotypical person, it looks like you're being sarcastic, or that you're being like, you're making fun of them. And that's not your intention. However, that's what you look because of like your face or your physical presence. And that's something that an autistic folk just doesn't know. And that's the reason why people get mad at you when you ask, "What did you do wrong?" That's the reason. And I just understood it recently. I mean, I know it's probably very dumb. I mean, I know if someone is like neurotypical, they'll be like, "Well, duh, that was obvious." And I was like, no, it's not. And at least I'm happy that I got to understand it. I still don't know what to do when something like that happens. Oh yeah, something else that I realized recently. I was watching the Lego movie. By the way, Emmett is so autistic coded. I am so sorry, but he is me. Like if you ever want to know how I would look physically whenever someone is like making like a joke to me or something like that, I'm just Emmett from the Lego movie. Okay, that's just He's just so autistic coded. I am so sorry. I genuinely thought that the good and bad police officer was just like the police officer having like two personalities at the same time. It didn't register to me that he was being sarcastic in the movie, okay? It didn't register to me. Only recently I found out that he was actually just being sarcastic. I just thought he had two personalities. It just made more sense to me. Okay, anyways. While watching the Lego movie, first of all, that book of Emmett saying how to be normal, that's so me. I wish I had that book. There's a part of the movie where everyone says, oh, I'm going to get chicken, I'm going to go eat something. And Emmett is like, oh yeah, I am totally going to go with you guys. And then everyone ignores him. And I was like, but why? Emmett just seems like someone normal. As it turns out, it's apparently an autistic thing to respond with yes when someone asks you to go out. I had no idea about this. My husband had to explain this to me. Whenever a neurotypical person says, oh, you want to go to the park? The neurotypical person does not expect you to actually answer. They don't expect you to say yeah or no. They expect you to get up and follow them without saying anything. Like it's a physical agreement that if they follow you, it's because they're going to go with you. So apparently saying, oh yes, I would love to go there is something you don't do as a neurotypical, and that's why people look fun at you when you say like you confirm or deny something. I was like, wait, what the fuck? I thought that was just me giving consent to go into the park. And my husband was like, neurotypical people often don't expect that answer. They just expect you to go along with it and not say a single word. They don't expect you to say yes or no. That's like, apparently to neurotypical people, that's just too childish. I was like, what the fuck? What? What do you mean childish? That's just giving consent. I didn't know that. Nobody explained that to me until I actually talked about it with my husband. Side note, I actually had to like hug him during the entire film of the Lego movie because I was like, what do you mean? All of these jokes that are like Emmett jokes in the Lego movie are like autistic jokes because Emmett doesn't understand how normal people work. What do you mean? What do you mean he's so autistic coded? What do you mean? I thought this was like how everyone view the world. It's not? I thought that Emmett was just like the average person. What do you mean that the jokes in the movie are like him not understanding how the world actually works and that's why people found him weird? And it's just autistic coded. And I was like, what? Huh? In fact, my husband does love the movie, and he told me that after watching it with me, he did get like a different kind of appreciation for the movie because he just saw me in like the Emmett character and the protagonist. And I said that he's like, I don't know the English name of the gothic girl, the love interest of Emmett. Probably something like freestyle. In Spanish, it's estilo libre, so I'm guessing it's something like freestyle. I told him that he was like my freestyle because he's just very cool. But yeah, that's another thing I learned. And if I sound kind of nervous, it's because I literally learned about it yesterday. So I'm kind of still processing the fact that people saw the movie differently than I did. I watched the movie like if I was Emmett. I still cannot get over the fact that the bad and good police officer was actually just them being sarcastic. And then I talked about it with a couple of friends. They're like, yeah, that was always what it was meant to be. And I was like, you guys all understood it that way? I didn't understood it that way. I just thought he was bipolar or something. I don't know. I took it too literally again, I guess. But yeah, it's just one of those things that... It's just one of those small details that you only really notice when you're autistic and they don't really make sense to you and you point them out. And luckily I have my husband that actually, explain things to me. And I'm like, oh, that was also an autistic thing. Oh, okay. It's funny. If people actually were a bit more honest and just accepted that I don't want to hurt them, that I'm genuinely just asking, I would have been able to fit in a lot more back when I was a child. Because as soon as my husband started to explain these things to me, I immediately started to act more socially appropriate, I guess. I just started to understand a lot of things more, and I don't know, sometimes I just wish people would just explain things. At the very least, I have my husband, which explains things to me in a way that I understand. So that's good. I feel like there's so many things that I could say about the autistic experience, but at the same time, all of these things are like so small, but they're just like small, tiny reminders that you're not normal, that you're not like everyone else. And it just like hurts. Maybe it's just me, but it just feels like small pinches on your everyday life that just give you that small reminder that you're not normal and that people will never say you're normal. Something that I find personally sad is that every time I have to go outside and I have to like I'm going to a doctor's appointment and I have to speak with people, it feels like I have to wear a little tag that says, "Hello, I'm autistic." Because if not, then people will assume that I'm being like mean to them. When I don't know, a lot of the times I don't even want to say that I'm autistic publicly because like I just want to be treated like a fucking normal human being. But apparently, I guess I can't be treated like a normal human being, and I have to specify that I'm autistic in every single occasion. It hurts, especially because after that, then people start to like high pitching their voice, and they just start to talk slowly, like if I was a baby. I'm not a baby. I can understand fast talking. It's just a little sad. I mean, don't get me wrong, I would rather have that than, just them assuming that I'm bad or that I'm angry and just creating problems from just how I speak. I would rather have the first option, but it doesn't mean that it's that good. I'm kind of tired of being treated like a baby just because I guess I don't communicate like other people. I don't know. It's a little tiring, and it's especially tiring when I have to always say that I'm autistic, or it seems like people won't even try to understand why I'm a little different. Well, at the very least, they try, so that's more than a lot of people are willing to do. So yeah, not ideal, but at the very least it is something, which is more than I had before. One of the examples that I remember that I kind of felt bad about it, I remember that I had a doctor's appointment and I had to wait outside for a very long while. It always takes a long time. And I remember that because the weather was extremely hot, here in the South Pole of the world, it's actually summer. Unlike the United States, where it's actually winter right now, here it's summer. So there was this extremely bad heat wave, and I just needed to move. I needed to walk around, or else I was going to have a panic attack over the weather. I was overloaded, sensory speaking. There was just a lot of people, a lot of noise, a lot of light, a lot of heat. There was a bit of everything, and it just felt like I was going to explode if I didn't move. So I just started to go around in circles, and people started to look at me weird, so I just had to sit down. The nurse was also like, what are you doing? I was like, I'm just walking. I'm walking, literally walking. I really wanted the eyes to stop, so I just had to sit down and hold back the panic attack as much as I could. Once I couldn't hold it anymore, there were a lot less people, so I just started doing it again. I remember that my husband always has to explain to everyone that I'm autistic, so they try to, be more understanding. So I didn't know how to explain that to the nurse, so I just walked up to her and said, "Hey, excuse me, do you have a toy for like autistic people? Like a fidget?" And I could see in her face how her face just changed from weirded out and annoyed to, "Oh, that makes sense." And she just told me, "Oh no, sorry, I don't have that. Do you need something else?" And I was like, do you have something to draw?" And then she just gave me like a pencil and some piece of paper, and I just began to draw. I will admit, the only table that was available at that place to draw was a children's table, so I had to sit down at a children's table. And that felt a little humiliating, but I could draw, so I guess that's something. I don't know, man. I just wish I didn't have to explain it every time I want to do something. Because, I don't know, I just want to be treated like a normal person. But I guess everyone is just rude to each other. I don't know. The only conclusion that I can drop from all this is that everyone is just mean to each other and they just pretend that they like each other. Cause like, if the way they treat me is how they treat each other, then damn, the world is very rude to one another. It's very judgmental. I guess that's just how normal people live, and I don't live by those rules. I mean, of course I have my own judgments, but more often than not, I don't like to assume stuff from people. I try to give everyone the benefit of the doubt. Except in like situations where it could be potentially dangerous, you know? Those situations I cannot give them the benefit of the doubt. But if it's just one person, then they're probably going through something. I don't know. I don't know, maybe that's just how they are. I'm no one to judge, so who cares? That's how I am with people. But I guess people just aren't like that with one another, which is weird to me, but I suppose it's fine. I suppose it's also fine to always feel like an outcast. But to be fair, I do enjoy being more of an outcaster than I actually enjoy being normal. If what people do and say is something they themselves don't understand and just assume, then I don't know, it just seems like a very complicated, boring, and kind of confusing life where everyone is just assuming everything, and most fights could have been avoided had people just talked and set clear boundaries and just said, hey, I don't like when you do this, could you stop? Like I do. Like, whenever my husband does something that I don't like, I tell him, I don't like this, stop it please. And he's like, okay. And at the same time, whenever I do something he doesn't like, he's like, honey, could you not do that? I don't like it. And I'm like, okay. And that's just how we communicate. It's just that simple. It's just that simple. And it seems like the world just doesn't operate that way. It feels like it would be simpler if people just operated that way, you know? Therefore, I don't know why people just keep assuming stuff from one another. It seems like objectively a very bad strategy for human survival. But I don't know. Anyways, I guess that's all for today. I feel like this video is going to be kind of long. So, yeah. If you want me to make another video about the stuff that I've been understanding as an autistic person and that no one has told me, you can leave it in the comment section. I want less people to feel alone like I've been feeling for most of my life, so yeah, I would love to read what you guys have to say, and if you want to share your own experiences being autistic, I would love to read them as well. Maybe it'll make me think of some other stuff that I've been through, and maybe I can make a second video. Who knows? It'll depend on how much support you guys give me. So yeah, that's about now. See you in the next one. Bye bye!